Pro League is about to bring to you something rather sweet. It's a Danish pastry. Heroic are going to be going head-to-head with Dignitas. Of course, 374 calories in a Danish pastry.
Times 2.
Times 2, that's a whole lot. And I mean, that's actually 66% of your daily saturated fat as well, just so you're aware. Stay healthy, kids.
Unless you're going for the gains, then eat as much as you want.
Yes. In fact, did you know that they have 23 milligrams of cholesterol as well?
Do they have any protein in them?
8 grams.
Nice. Okay,
Damn,
so
here it is. Heroic Dignitas.
Nice and quick. Heroic, they beat Dignitas before when these guys were on Nuke. That's about all you need to know. Both of these teams like to play Nuke. It's a map they want to bring into their map pools. They're willing to play it. They're even willing to pick it. So this is going to be a good battle because the last time these guys played it was 16-14. It was 16-12, sorry. It was a very close affair. This was back at Star Ladder.
Yes.
It was a good game. And I think we'll get 2 good maps back-to-back. We don't even need to do a post-game, do we? We could just go boom and then boom.
I would like that. I mean, the fact that it's going to be played twice is something that I'm going to find it very interesting.
Yeah.
Like, you'll see the minor influences, like the pistol. You'll see, you know, just you lose that 3rd round. You know, these little, tiny little intricacies that could very well influence the whole game. You could see a huge shift from one map to the other. And I'm already being told that the players are ready and raring to go. But no, the last 3 times that Dignitas and Heroic did meet, Dignitas did win. 1 best of 3 and 2 best of 1s. Chad? For the first game of Nuke, that's right, it's a double. What are you going to go for?
Heroic.
Heroic?
Yep.
I'm intrigued. My eyebrows have been raised officially, and we're going to head over to your casters to see if they have been equally surprised by the Heroic call.
Thank you very much, Alex, and the rest of the desk. I mean, not really. This is actually...
one-man desk.
Is it just 2 of them?
It's just Chad.
Oh, they've done that again. Okay. Yeah, last night was my fault. I actually left and I didn't realize I had to be on best there, so I messed that one up a little bit. But hey, we're back here. My punishment is double nukes here. But it should be interesting. I mean, this map actually came out for the first time from Dignitas at the qualifier for the Cologne Major, and they played against Empire on this map, and it was fine, and then Hellraisers smashed them. That was when we first started to see this come to the map pool for them. But since then, both these 2 teams have worked on integrating it into their map pools, and like Chad said, it was Heroic last time these 2 went head-to-head. An interesting way to have a look at this particular, I'm going to use the phrase Danish derby here, because over the same map, we've seen this a couple times so far in the Pro League where teams had to play it. We had a double cash header. I think there was FaZe and I don't know who else it was. FaZe Nip or something like that. I think that was it. So interesting to see if anything really changes across these 2, if there are any real touch points that we can see. But we're into the pistol, Lauren.
All right, so for me, it's all on Dig to see how much they can achieve during this round, just purely in that, can they get the start that they desperately need? We all know this is a very CT-sided map now. Teams have started to really get accustomed towards it. I want to see something big from this pistol round. We saw a couple of teams, well, we saw the teams just 1 game ago, Virtus Pro there, trying to come up with something. It was actually Astralis, you know, showing off some bits and pieces. And now the smoke towards the outside comes in. This could be that play, you know, basically towards upper, kind of splitting, dropping down towards upper, but at this moment it's gone absolutely awful. They've lost out on the 2 players who are willing to split in through that kind of through lobby, and now Freeze is playing passive here, and I actually really like Freeze on this map, but he's not had the chance yet, of course, to get the op out or anything like that, so keep your eyes once that does happen. And Dignitas have got themselves in quite interesting positions. Right around the back, they've been able to kind of wrap around towards the upper side, and Config with a stunning little start. 2 kills to really alleviate the pressure that was already built up. But look at that bomb, left in towards Squeaky Room. Moddy's kept this one even now, back to a 2v2.
Yeah, I mean, these 2 teams have kind of swapped sides of the map, essentially, but the problem is that Dignitas still needs to go back and recover this bomb. That's going to be the issue, and that seems to be the task that's been laid in front of Config now. Starting towards Hutch, Snappy's sitting on the other side of that one, and Cajun B's hoping to wrap through himself. So, yeah, map control for Dignitas. Despite losing too early, they've spread across this map, and now have managed to establish a little bit of, well, difference in terms of the approach they can take. Moddy expects something to be in ramp room, but Cajun B comes back through lobby. He gets cut down there by Snappy, who manages to find him. And now Config, he's in the 1v2. Good damage being done by Config here. He's really laying it in. 2 kills so far for him, but now he's still going to get himself out of this situation. That's a good start. Headshot towards Snappy, and we have a 1v1.
Yeah, this is sick from Config. Let's be absolutely spot on with this. 3 kills, 2, made it an even situation they could work with, and he's even brought it further. And now Moddy on 1 HP, one of the players he previously tagged up. Bomb goes down. Now it's all on Moddy. You got to play back into this and hit the shot. It's not going to happen. Config absolutely destroying this round. By all rights, that was Heroics. And then Dignitas just flips it on his head. And should I say Dignitas? No, it was Config doing that. Now, Config was one of those players who was always discussed as one of those upcoming kind of people who keep your eyes on. They're with like your Magis boy, with your Kiebi, those kind of like younger Danes that were starting to really turn heads. And he went a little bit quiet for a while. He fell back a little bit off the very break of these upcoming talents. But it's good to see him having a good start here. Good build well into his confidence. Could be a good map for him, how he likes to play it out. So again, keep your eyes on this guy. I want to see how well he plays throughout this. Big round coming up for Dignitas here. You need everything on this T side that's gifted to you with any sort of advantage. They've got the 2 rifles and the 3 SMGs and the UMPs. We could see an outside play coming in. This very similar to the last round. 3 players towards the outside, already trying to approach towards Garage, get some control towards maybe Secret, play towards that upper bomb site.
Outside control for Dignitas here. I mean, a good start. They got the smokes to allow them. You know, they could push in towards Secret. That's what Snappy's sort of expecting. But MSL's taking a little bit of a different approach here. Freeze off the player playing in towards this little storage shed. And he does get cut down there. He's not able to do much at all about that one. It was fairly easy enough there for Cajun and Co to take him down. So now, just 3 left here. Snappy, God help me.
Snappy.
That's the German side of me now. Trying to respond to this one. Valde, a brave push out in towards Annex, but it's not going to yield anything at this stage.
To me, it just feels like Config's feeling the game. You know, he already predicted that little bit of a peak coming in from Secret. Already expected it, got the one towards main there. Bomb's going down. Now, the last 2 players for Heroic are sat back going, well, I can't do much at this point. I'm in that position where ideally we take these into the next round because really we have nothing else to kind of achieve in this one. So again, armor there and the upgraded pistols. A flash on towards Modi as well. This is quite important to keep hold of. But for Dignitas, they probably would have rather maybe one of the UMP players getting a couple more of these kills, but at the end of the day, a round's a round. Getting 2 already, quite cleanly done now at this point is exactly what you need to really stabilize the money. Magic gonna get a little bit there and claim one for himself, and he's got to be careful. Modi's just in those back lines, gonna just jiggle peek his way in, gets punished in the end, but at this point, not the end of the world. Dig want to keep these rounds clean though, get that money built up as much as they can throughout the early kind of forays in this.
And Heroic know as well that as these rounds sort of come forth and that the odds of them winning are generally slanted sort of against them. And being on the CT side, you know, it's going to be quite important to have that money. I mean, so the odds only slanted against them sort of if they get into those sort of nasty little ruts, economically speaking. So Dignitas have really done well to get themselves ahead here. They're the ones that know that obviously this is a bit more towards the CT side, this particular map. So making a start, this is pretty good. Now, we'll see Heroic, of course, back towards just that clean pistol. I mean, well, a couple coming in there. Deagle for Modi and Co. He's got a bit of armor to work with here as he survived that last round, but already a bit of a rush here towards the upper side. It's going to be Cajun B opening things up here. Snappy goes down. Valde also got a full Magisk. Nice little damage going over towards Crow's Nest here, but everyone chipping in, and that has pretty much nullified any presence for Heroic.
Yep, your last man standing will be Modi. Now, has that Deagle and armor from the prior round, so not too much to write home about. And basically, the one thing to take away from this is a lot of plants for Dignitas coming through, which is really good for their money. And they've kept these last 2 rounds pretty clean. So for them, good buy going to come out. They can get on towards the AWP quite early. We could see that being into play. I'm wondering who's going to have the big performance. So far, it's been Config, but these rounds have been the kind of grind-out rounds. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
It's Config going through the motions. The first one was absolutely sick. The others off the back, you know, he just ran through the motions on that. So for me, nice to see, but not the biggest thing in the world. But for him, maybe a nice confidence boost. So it was a discussed point before. I think it was brought up with like Scoots at some point at a couple of events between him and Freiburg. You know, some players really need those kind of like eco frags-esque to get them confident, get them feeling the game, get them really into the mood of it, and to get them feeling like, okay, we can take this into the gun rounds. Now for me, I'm looking to see if they go straight towards the AWP on Dignitas. No, they don't. They go for the 5 rifles. On the other side, Freese going to pick this up now. Freese, I found, having big games once he's got that AWP in hand. It plays very nicely to that passive style. He likes to take the shot back away. You've got so much opportunity. Exactly. So many opportunities towards the outside area on this one towards Yard. But actually can take himself up towards the top. Start off with peek across, maybe see if there's any smokes coming in. A lovely angle as well to see the cross towards Secret if they go for it. You always head back over to Garage if required.
Yeah, the positioning here for Dignitas, a little bit more placed back, might be actually a top execute, but Cajun be later towards the outside here. Smokes are plenty. There's enough here for Dignitas to sort of gain some ground, but Snappy will have a clear view of vision now. Has to back away from the Molotov, turns his back on that one, but he manages to catch all of Dignitas there. They didn't expect him to push past the Molotov, but he did. Glaive takes advantage of the chaos in that situation to make his own little peek up and finds Cajun B.
Just playing through the smoke off the back of the information, that little bit of contact, they make the play. Now, Rabino should hit this shot, but he's got support. Magis can only find one. Glaive still stays tall, should I say, and Freeze? Freeze. Freeze. Again, Freeze? Oh, no. Well, at the end of the day, Modi at least kept it in hand, right? But not a good start for Freeze. I was singing his praises on this map, saying normally, you know what, he has a good game here.
Can't rebuy that all.
No, he's kind of screwed for money a little bit on this one. That's the one thing on this map, that if the T-side do build up that money quite early on, you can see them really, you know, putting the pain towards Heroic in this. So you're going to see Cajun B actually running that straight away. Good spawn as well, so he can maybe be able to try and work around that if he wants to. Take the straight fight towards Garage if he gets the angle he wants to on this one. But Snappy could be encouraged to go aggressive somewhere. Only a UMP to play with. You're going to have to try and find a way to make this one work against a really nice buy that's so far coming out from Dignitas.
The impact of losing the AWP in that last round actually is not to be understated here. Look what HMB can do now. He probably doesn't know that the AWP's not recoverable here, gets himself one and opens things up. Now that's picked back up though. Snappy trades his UMP in for the dropped AWP, but still doesn't want to challenge up on the outside area. He's going to back away towards Secret, maybe hold another angle elsewhere. And now Dignitas, they're starting to work their way in towards this A side. It's looking pretty good. Rubino shots up high. That's a lot of fire. Fair enough there. It's going to be thrown up and deny any position here on Crow's Nest. Modi, well, not much to see up there at the moment for him. Smoke, and the Molotovs on the other side as well. However, Magisk is just on the inside there as well. So everyone here, this is crazy how close together they are right now without knowing it. But still, 2 players left for Heroic. This is not good at all. Even with the AWP being picked back up here, maybe handed over to Freeze in the next round. Not really a round you want to lose out.
And I want to highlight the confidence they've been having going towards that upper bomb site. Sure, they lost out on KGB quite unfortunately in the outside. Being on that UMP, you're almost encouraged to be a little bit more aggressive, try and find the upgrade for yourself, which they did. You know, Snappy now has the AWP in hand, so for him, lovely benefit. Going to just be reminding Freeze you can hit shots if you want to. You just have to believe in them.
We talked about him being more of a line holder and less of a fast peeker. So
I think you saw the prime example of that. But beyond that, Dignitas don't look afraid to just take the fights in towards the upper side, you know, in towards Rafters, playing well. They even still had utility off the back of that to play with into this one. So for them, good position to be in. And well, we got KGB trying to farm back up towards be able to pick up an AWP, keep that money as robust as possible. And the other side, they're trying to get a buy around what they have left over. So a UMP here or there, 5-7 Deagle. It's not great, but it's got enough utility to support it. So they might still be able to punish this. It is a CT-sided map, bearing in mind.
yeah, absolutely. Dignitas those to rush on towards up here. This is nice. They might be able to catch the Raptors players by surprise, and they do. Snappy falls down early in there. Valde also going to drop. Smoke in front of A, and that means Glaive has to back away because he can't see what he's trying to shoot at. A flash thrown in his direction as well will deny him any sort of pressure and step towards the upper side. With Modi falling elsewhere on the map, I have to assume that was over the outside, and Config now in this position. Heroic can't fight back into this side.
Absolute power, confidence, and aggression towards upper. Config's going to walk around for this one. He's going to spot one. He's got to be careful of the crossfire, though. He kind of expects one to be towards Garage. Finally hits the shot. I guess the little bit of the...
Magisk that got it in the end.
It was Magisk to find it in the end there. But Freeze will be trying to fight his way out of this, or stay alive, keep them away from this orb, because he knows he needs this. Their money's pretty much depleted. Look at it. Down to 350 for himself at the moment. He adjusts on towards Rubino, but no more to be claimed. And they do get an orb for their troubles. Cajun B even picks up a rifle. He started off with a Mac-10, so their money's actually pretty good off the back of that for the T side. However, Heroic, not so good at all. And actually surprised Dignitas got away with that. Now, of course, Heroic's money was pretty bad at this, so again, they couldn't maybe molly out or nade out or do anything towards Squeaky at the start, but you can't do the clean rushes anymore. This is what we were discussing before. Before when you're on the T side, you were able to nade the door before you got there and hit the site as quick as you can. Just quickly play into it, maybe get a flash to set you up through the skylights. You can't do it anymore, but they're going to do it again. The CT side will already be here, but it doesn't matter this time. It's a clean eco, but it can still do some damage, but look at them. Confident again. They lose out on one. That's to Freeze, but by now they have 4 alive and a bomb almost down on the site.
I really like this. I like it a heck of a lot from Dignitas. They did it in the round prior, like you said, and that was up against a Heroic team who sort of forced into that round with UMPs and a couple rifles and some utility. None of it actually mattered, though, because Dignitas just played the shock trooper role and caught them by surprise. Now, that may not be so simple in this particular round, where Heroic finally have a little bit of money to bank on here and the smokes they maybe need. No Molotovs to deny any step through things like Squeaky, but smokes will fill that role to a degree.
No kits either. Bomb plants become a bit of a problem at that point. But let's see what Dignitas do. Do they have that aggression again? Do they make the CT side uncomfortable at all? So there's the first smoke towards Squeaky. That comes in from, I think, either Snappy possibly, or anyone else playing out towards the outside area, just placing it down to deny anyone the quick play through, deny, Cajun B the peak. And Valda's just going to hold the angle now. I want to see how Dignitas actually approach this round. How do we break back in? Damage plenty comes in towards Snappy. That's a big deficit, and they don't even know it really, but that's a good beginning for them. Yeah, and now Snappy's going to just leap over, just has to find a new angle. He's kind of negated in this one. So Dignitas, down to 1 minute. It's about taking away that utility, being quite meticulous. Rubino's going to be the one to set up the play pretty much at this point. That could be a flash through, a molly through. He's got everything he needs here. So it will be the molly. Could go towards Crows. It could be towards Rafters, and they're going to molly out the old vent, should I say, and this is the hit. So down to 1 minute, they've worked out the utility, and now they hit in. MSL has been getting some good entries in this, just kind of barreling towards the side, saying, all right, I'll be the meat shield, but the meat shield has been biting back here, and now Heroic are down to 3. This is very surprising to see, Mitch.
Yeah, Freeze support peek in from the top side and just gets wrecked by Cajun B instantly. who traded out his AWP for a rifle just to play a bit more of a brawl mentality over the site. Modi is forced to sort of pick at the edges of Team Dignitas, but with the bomb already down, and Dignitas having the utility to stall and to protect any attempt at a retake here, the two-gun save as a CT side is a wise choice here. You're not getting rounds, you're not finding any other ways to scrape money together through the rounds, so you do need to hold on to these weapons, and that is going to necessitate, over the next few rounds, Heroic to save in some situations where you justifiably could go for a fight, even if the odds are against you.
I can't say it enough. What a sick T-side already. Getting this many rounds on the T-side on Nuke is, I wouldn't say unheard of, but it is pretty rare. It shouldn't happen to this extent, but I guess this is what happens when you get that CT side money kind of broken out very early on. You pick up the pistol, you get everything basically going that you'd want to. They've had the perfect beginning. You've got Config firing on all cylinders. MSL providing good ways in towards the upper bomb side, just playing it, I'll go in if I have to. If I die first, I die first. I don't care. We'll play for the plant, we'll play for the round. And at the moment, this is just an absolute masterclass in T-side Nuke here from Dignitas, and it's just working. Heroic going to try and put some bodies towards the outside area. KGB is watching this, so Freeze, Glaive, and Coke could be in a little bit of trouble. And it looks like Dignitas are going to go for, again, a little bit more of a cautious round. We don't have that strain towards upper play.
I don't mind this at all. Molotov here as well. Not going to do a heck of a lot, except maybe give KGB pause for thought, because he needs that spot to line up for the smoke strain towards the shed, and he does so. But Freeze has a little bit of a gap here above the smoke. Could be a risky spot for him, but the first shots are going to have to be very, very important with the FAMAS, of course, not obviously the ideal rifle to take into this scenario. So yeah, getting a bit nervous now about his positioning. Wants to use the fringes of the smoke just to get the first shot in, but he can't see MSL as he comes across and gave up that position. Now he himself is spotted out, moving across. Dignitas starting to just exert a bit of control over the outside of the map, but there is still another player inside there, and Freeze actually takes the challenge on towards MSL. He takes him by surprise. And now Cajun B kind of has to do this on his own, and he's at risk of getting double peaked in any sort of weird situation. Maybe, yeah, a bit tough for him to work through that one. Freeze was also waiting for that one. He may even have heard the man.
3v5, playing back into this is going to be tricky, but they've been having an absolute blinder of a game so far. Still have some utility to play with, but the trades are going to be tough to try and negate or get around, find a way to get past that. And Config on 12 HP, certainly not going to be assisting it in any way, shape, or form. Heroic going looking, though, which could maybe find a bit of room for Config to work. Glaive and Freeze not being particularly subtle here and not keeping eyes on where he was could have made a bit of a problem. But no, Glaive will find him, and now down to 2. Playing off the ladder, Snappy waits, and he does just wait patiently. A little too long, maybe. Rubino, they're going to find him, but it is still a 1v4. This is not looking likely, but a bomb plant's brilliant to get out of this again. Not going to get it, though. Well held in the end by Freeze to dive down and try and deny that, stop them getting even more money built up, because the money's pretty well set for Dignitas here, but it can be broken eventually, but it has to be really worked down from right about now.
There's almost an argument actually there for like a fake bomb plant from Rubino to try and get some more guns away from Heroic, right? Given where their economy is right now, we're not fully solidified. You go for the bomb plant, you're going to get yourself, all your team a bit of money, right? If you don't plant the bomb and focus on trying to just kill people, then you're putting more pressure on Heroic in an economy that is still very much in its infancy. So, you know, an idea there, maybe you could have gone for that here, but hard to know exactly as Dignitas keeping tabs on the economy there, what the situation would have been for Heroic. But they get their second. That's sort of the main point to the take home here, and they have enough utility. They've got kits to work with here. So Dignitas now, again, though, with 3 players towards outside. It's going to be config up on twin, I guess we call that now. But Glaive, again, the good shutdown towards long. That's the second time MSL hasn't been able to do anything on this part of the map here. And KGB often has to try and salvage the situation with the AWP. He got caught out last time as well between 2 players.
Glaive looking for the angle as well. We saw, I think was it Neo, I think, possibly playing that before? We saw like a nice little angle you can see towards the upper catwalk, and it's just really, really nice to be watching it. But KGB has the angle, he runs right back into it. So Glaive now goes, we're back into a 4v4. The T side now has a bit of room to work with. A double play towards Radio Ramp could maybe come back around, but I wonder if Magic and Rubino are going to change their attention towards elsewhere. They have some control towards outside. The T side's starting to build into this round. The Molly's still there. This could still be an upper side hit, and they've already worked out that, okay, there's one on the side, let's just try and get past that quickly. Rubino can try and go for the frag, he doesn't, he gets it. Really nice combination between the two. Straight up follows it, that is brilliant. Just walking in towards the upper bomb site. And that's it, bomb is down, the last 2 players are cut off from this and isolated from each other.
That's what a shoulder peek will do for you as well, especially if you know you're not peeking into an AWP player. An AK is not really going to be able to one-hit kill you because he needs to hit the head, so just a shoulder peek in, you can very much see or know what you're walking into on that kind of site there. And Rubino does this all the time, I really love that. You know, same on Cobblestone. I love watching him on that particular map on the T side. He pushes on towards B. You see the same precision and aggression coming out from him. He's cracked this nut open entirely. And now Heroic, well, they're kind of back to the drawing board here. They've got only 2 rifles between them. Money is okay, but still some people are going to be sort of struggling to force up. Glaive's got 450 at the moment. It's not enough. And this is great. This is great economic pressure being applied by Dignitas now. They win the round, so they can afford to lose some of these guns to take them away. Modi loses his, and now just an AK for Snappy. Not great.
Well, that's the understatement of the year. 2 to 8 is not great on Nuke, is it?
Yeah. But I mean, like Glaive's money, Valde can only go for Famis here. It's good. That's what you really want to do. Get aggressive and cut that economic stack down. There's a lot to be said sometimes for just getting guns out of hand.
So into this one, looking at the buy coming through. Again, Heroic's money has been so bad throughout this half. It's not fun to be watching. AWP on free space glass cannon, limited utility in the way they can stop this, and there's a massive ramp in. Now Modi's already fallen back. He's going to go for the repeat, actually. Does a bit of damage, but he can't sustain. He can't stay alive. KGB just overwhelms him with the Tech 9. Look at this guy. Sheer confidence, just goes straight in. He's got the AWP, reminding yourselves here. Absolutely just sheer and utter aggression. Now Glaive can make a play off the back of this, but gets challenged out from control room. Rabino's playing well as well. This is when Dignitas get deadly. You've got players across the board having a good game, and they're making the sites work of themselves. It's down to 2 for Heroic, and it's just going to be 1.
Dignitas, they're just, I guess, invoking this financial pressure, and then they're capitalizing on it by rushing. They know that, okay, Heroic probably don't have enough now to buy all the bells and whistles in terms of their utility. They can't actually stall this, so let's just push in and get aggressive. Now, one of the best things available to a CT-sided team is to be able to molly those choke points. Chad talked about at the start of the show. There's 3 main chokes on this map that T's had to push through, and if you have enough utility, you can stall them out for upwards of 30 seconds. But Heroic don't have this, and Dignitas must have a feel for that themselves because they're just going straight in, taking the ball by the horns. And not only are they taking them by surprise, I mean, a bit tough for Modi there. He sort of backed up pretty early and then went for the re-peek. You ideally want to stay up, get a kill, then maybe just back away entirely and wait. So didn't really go the way he would have liked it to in ramp room there. But it's a really, really nice by Dignitas, just constantly applying pressure. And it's a nightmare, absolute nightmare for Heroic on the CT side. Look at the money, it's not enough, possibly even double eco territory here if things don't go right.
No, this half is already tragic. This is an absolute travesty of a half from Heroic. Considering this map is played by both of them, it's kind of surprising. You're only seeing one team really showing you how it's done. And Magic's got a great spawn. He's going to use it, probably to go straight in towards ramp. He can make the play. He knows their money's completely garbage. So just run in, do what you can with the Mac 10. There it is. Already opportunity made, and they're going to run off the back of it. He can just kind of spot out here, play config in possibly. It's KGB to find Snappy. And really, Freeze was the only danger man on this round, and already the bomb's going to be going down. He's kind of out of it. I don't know what he can really do to stop this or maybe turn it around. For him, probably just keeping hold of that AWP is the next big thing.
Valda from up above finds config there as well. Glaive fell to a nade just prior to that one, and Valda wants to go and get himself the gun, but he's going to be sort of challenged on that one. There's no way KGB is going to let you get away with that. You're not going to be able to retreat back with an AK and survive. So Freeze, again, holding on towards the AWP, but this idea, this strategy is reasonable. Save, of course, you've got no money, but there's not been enough done with this AWP. It was, however, the only gun brought into this round, the only gun that Dignitas could really have banked on. So perhaps forcing pistols around this or something similar might give them an opportunity, but the money is like 2K for the entirety of Heroic. It's really, really not much at all. And with only a few more rounds left in the half, something's got to give. He's lucky to be alive, I'll tell you that right now. He's got no armor there to speak of, so MSL gave him a bit of a reprieve.
Let's kind of look at what's been going right for Dignitas here. One of them is config. Can we just hit tab for a second? Can we just see what he's done already in these 13 rounds? He's sitting on 16 kills to start off with. Massive, massive impact into this game. The first few came through the pistol, and the first, the second following that, and then the third, but already off the back of it. And then Rabino as well, following up, creating opportunities towards these sites. And there it is again, straight away. Valda's head gets ripped off, and MSL finds one towards Crows as well. This is all but looking tragic again for Heroic. They can't stop the rushes. They can't deny Dignitas from just taking this out brute force. Beautifully played in, and now Freeze is locked out. Freeze does spot it out in the end. Config goes down, so okay, maybe looking a little bit better here, but there's still no kit. There's still no step towards the site. It's going to have to come in from someone. Massive performance from either of these two, and they know this is looking almost over already.
Yeah, there's another smoke. There's another Molotov here to cut off Freeze's approach. Now he's like, well, can I save this? Or you probably can back away and save this one, but KGB's going to chase him on the outside here. And he's done. He's absolutely done like a dog's dinner. So nicely done there. KGB picks him up. That was Team Dignitas buying into that round with whatever they sort of could there. Freeze has money because he hasn't had to rebuy. He saved the AWP the last couple of rounds prior to that one here, but outside of that, it's not good. We're going to see some upgraded pistols coming in here. 11-2. very justifiably 13-2. Well, yeah, 13-2 possibly here if Heroic don't get themselves in order.
So, Dignitas again. Power position with money. Got everything they need in this. And they're just running with it. MSL already finds Freeze. He's gone. That's the outside under wraps. They can maybe just have a little look from Crows or have a look from maybe from main. But at this point, they are looking for opportunities elsewhere on the map, trying to push through from ramp to radio to the lobby to try and get an opportunity. And this spray again, and it's a massive deny. They're getting no step towards this map. If I was them, I'd be looking at the next go of this. You know, next half, okay, fresh start, but you're going into the T half. This is baffling. I don't care whose fan you are in this one. This is a great performance from Dignitas and really quite a one-sided affair to start this off for what should have been a close game. Now, Valda's found a little bit of room to work with. He's got himself an AWP, but he's only got 1 HP and he's being hunted down every single.
You don't say this.
No.
No way. So that was the round Heroic had to pretty much concede. Now they got money to buy here in the last round of the half, no less. 12-2 is the current scoreline, and Dignitas have done a very, very good job of preventing Heroic from ever really hitting, I don't use the term power spikes, but hitting a point where they could actually facilitate a good hold on either of these sides, especially upper with your smokes and with your Molotovs here. Dignitas, they tested the outside of the map in the first 2 rounds, they took control, and then they didn't have to worry about pushing in towards the sides because they knew they could do that. They didn't have that, they had the pace and the aggression to get entry frags and not have to worry about smokes, Molotovs, and flashes.
And they've never lost this map before. Heroic, every time they've played it, they've won. This is a good map for them, so I don't know if this is an off day or a great day for Dignitas. Take from that what you will, but this is a very one-sided affair to begin with. Now, into this, at least they have the first man advantage. That's a huge benefit on this map specifically. It's hard to work the picks back in. Conflict's going to go looking for it, and he's the one with the AWP now. So double up on the T side, maybe just feels like it's time to start running this spot out the man. He can't hit the shot and has to back away, find a new approach to this one. He does, however, have a bit of information to kind of make a play off the back and to smoke out towards Garage, deny one angle. Has to be kind of careful there. He doesn't know if this one on secret, one up by Crows, one playing off the back of the catwalk. And the tag goes in towards Cajun B. It's starting to look a little worse for wear here for Dignitas, losing out on that momentum. The pick's starting to play towards Heroic's favor.
I don't mind double AWP on the T side, especially if you're playing a man down and you're playing outside of this map. That's fine, but eventually when Dignitas have to transition in, it's going to be a lot harder. Now playing with 2 men down, Modi, this should be straightforward. This should be a situation he should be able to prevail in. He backs away fairly early, does go for the re-peek. He's going to see Rabino cross, but doesn't challenge. That's probably the better choice. Flash out, buy time, give the call to the rest of Heroic to respond to this now. As Rabino trying to make a faster play down. He's not going to catch Modi off guard, though, and he thinks against it there as well. So not committing towards lower. They may be crossing Freeze at some point here if they want to try and take control of ladder. First shot comes in. Oh, misses there. Freeze having a bit of a rough one at the moment. Now, Molotov coming in. He's going to be pressured down. He gets the second shot. Magisk falls, and that's going to be it. Heroic at least get themselves 3 rounds before the half, and that is the absolute bare minimum. But, of course, they're on the wrong side of the map to be having such a low score. Now moving towards the T side, Lauren, it's hard to see how they break back in. I mean, even with a pistol round win.
Yeah, I'm lost for a way for them to fight back through. They need everything to turn around in this little bit of a break. They need everything to go right for them in that second half, and I don't see it happening.
Well, let's see if that's going to be the case, though. We've seen an interesting game already on Nuke earlier tonight. Let's see if this one goes any similarly. We'll see after the break. confident going into this double nuke affair, but so far it looks like Heroic are suffering a major meltdown here in the first map. It has not been the side they would have liked to see on the CTs. I mean, Dignitas have kept them under the thumb. They've never let their economy grow, and Heroic really need to start to lift their game, starting with the pistol here, Lauren.
Yeah, it's been an absolute disaster for them from start to finish for Heroic, and as you highlighted, it's got to start in the pistol. There's no other way that they can get back into this game. They're taking out all of those skylights, so it looks like a hit, which may have just encouraged Dignitas to try and play through towards Radio, and that's not gone too well. Moddy's already claimed KGB, and that might force Magic to back away and just keep a little bit more of a passive angle. You don't want to lose out on this one just yet. You don't want to give up on that real estate. At the moment, Heroic doing good stuff to start with.
You don't want to let Heroic get back in the game, and this is where you need to keep that pressure going. It was only a small break at the half, and Dignitas need to keep it together. MSL got a decent spot here. He can just shoot straight down. He gets himself two. In fact, maybe with one bullet. It's hard to see with the kill feed coming up there, but nicely done nonetheless. Dignitas now start to break the back of Heroic. That is going to mean that Heroic are going to be looking down the barrel of, I mean, at least 14-3. They're going to need to do something pretty special here to throw I guess, a stick in the spoke to Dignitas. Now they're getting started.
Mitch, they'd need a Heroic performance.
Am I sitting next to Matt now?
Or they just need to go to the Dignitas clinic and get it over with. Like, this is...
Yeah, it's a clinic, absolutely. Keep them under the thumb. Don't let their economy grow. Even if you're losing rounds, then make sure they're losing guns as a result. They did that all half. So, I mean, now you start off. I mean, and if you're Dignitas, you're starting to JDM it, right? You're lounging a bit. You're like, okay, we're very comfortable here. The Heroic can't have a decent rush hit on towards the upper because we have the utility to sort of set that one up there nicely. Moddy does find Magisk there, but immediately traded out, and Config can control the outer side very easy. I mean, those Tech 9s aren't going to allow you to do too much, even if you want to get towards Secret or towards BlueCon, it's not going to work.
No, and the one thing that really impressed me that Dignitas did was those hits towards the upper site, hitting towards A. It was just so powerful. They had great trades, always finding the right angles, and Snappy's now lost the bomb. That's gone into the clutches of KGB, so he can sit there or just back away. Depends how he wants to do it, really. At this point, maybe doesn't want to give away too much, just finds a new angle. He knows that Glaive is going to have to make a play sooner or later, and he can play off the back of that. So he's heard the steps. He'll be waiting in towards ramp. He does a little bit of damage towards each other.
Oh, what?
And Glaive will find it, but it doesn't matter. MSL is there, and we are on towards well. A bit of a scoreline that is not reading too pleasantly for Heroic fans. 14-3, and their money's awful, but Heroic has to go through this.
Yeah, I'm like, and it doesn't matter how aggressive you want to be. You can't force this round. You absolutely cannot do it. You go clean if you're Heroic. You don't mess about because you need it all to play for overtime, because that's what you're going to be doing, right? This next round when they are, and to be fair, who even knows what they're going to have? If they have a bomb plant, then they're definitely not going to have even proper built-up stuff. They're not going to have an AWP, and then they might even be forced to go for the riddles. But let's just see. Freeze takes a lot of damage. He's punished to try and get towards lower side, and Config just wrecks him.
To be fair, they just wanted the plant. That's all it is. When you're doing that vent dive, or at least trying to do a bit of a vent dive, it sucks. You can't do it as quick as you used to. Moddy making money. At least going to get some sort of benefit out of this one, but beyond that, I don't know how far it's going to stretch to, but yeah, Moddy's doing work, and actually Magic helps him. He felt so sorry for him. He'll help him out. He's like, guys, you've only got 3 rounds. You know, we absolutely destroyed you when we were playing T-side. Let me helping hand and all that.
That's big though. Okay, that knife, purely because of that knife.
Yep.
That means there's an AWP that can go over here to freeze if it may be him. So that's a pretty good scenario considering Heroic were always going to get trashed in that round. So freeze gets that one here. They get a decent buy. They don't have a heck of a lot of utility, but on this T side, you really just wanted to facilitate maybe an outer take if you want to do that. I don't think they rush here on towards an upper exit.
Early molly. So the molly came down, and that's why it's there. I think the little bit of damage Rubino did with the M4 certainly helped. Yeah, so that's already the far from ideal start that they wanted. I think Config's read this now, like, okay, maybe they're going to look towards Secret. Lovely angle in the smoke. He might just get put out of it, though. Yeah, Glaive's going to read that like a book. May have just seen him cross, may have seen the shadow, may have seen something that gave it away. So now 4v4, okay, we've got a little bit of something going on here. And then it gets all ruined, and I got excited for nothing.
Yeah, I mean, I like this though. Like, they can control outside. This AWP gives them a lot more capability to play the outer side. But like I said, you still need to penetrate in it. You still need to maybe get in towards the lower levels. Maybe you work Secret together. But right now, Freeze is just forging wide on his own. Moddy sets up here. That's a big, nasty nade hit going on towards him as well. Not going to be happy about that one. So, I mean, if Freeze can get into Crow's Nest somehow, I mean, MSL's going to be watching that one here. I don't think he even has the angle to see the guy's head. MSL saw him. Though if the peak comes out, you're done. You're pretty much wrecked there as well. With the AWP down, Moddy's now already pretty much committed to this side. He still can't see MSL, who's foxed himself away in that Crow's Nest here. But what are your options? Moddy, look up. Oh, God. He can't see Rubino there.
Ouch. Oh, this is next map territory. Just go through the motions, Valda. Don't draw it out. Be a kind man. To be fair, every round does actually matter in the Pro League, which is the bigger problem. And he couldn't see Rabino for being underneath the gun weapon model, and it's just an absolute disaster. Heroic, what was that?
I do not know. That's... I mean, we kind of saw it coming, to be honest, but that is just nasty. That's not even safe for some television networks here as well, I'll be honest with you.
There must be a not safe for work label just banged across that one.
Yeah, absolutely. Pretty much short and sweet there as well. Heroic only getting a pittance of round, just a mere handful. And I'd be interesting. I think there's plenty to say about this as a result, though. I think we could definitely read into how this T-side was played by Dignitas, which has impressed me a lot. But when you're Heroic and you've queued up Double Nuke being like, yeah, we got this, now you're starting to sweat bullets. They definitely weren't firing them, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Let's pass over the desk now and break this one down.
Easiest prediction of Chad Birchall's life.
Fantastic.
Yeah, called Heroic to win.
Yep.
Only going to get 16-3, don't they?
It was
Classic.
Pretty close game.
Classic Heroic action.
You know what? I hope we can see that again.
Yeah.
That same map again with those two teams and Heroic actually ecoing to get 5 Molotovs up before the 15th round on the first half. Wouldn't that be fantastic? Because we highlighted how important it was to Molotov off the choke points. And they didn't have 5 Molotovs until the last round.
Chad was playing this game with me. He was saying, count the Molotovs, and I was playing. And I think the highest they got before the 15th was 3. And that was, I think, round 7. They got 3 Molotovs.
Yeah, it's pretty important. And you saw how...
You have to explain why, though, because there's probably someone here sitting here thinking, what is he talking about? It's just a simple grenade. Can you highlight exactly why on this particular side, on CT side of Nuke?
Okay, so the way that you play your sites, you need to stop the rush because the way your CT side is spread, it's so hard to cover inside. You don't have a very good view of Squeaky going up the rafter. Hut as well, they can get out and they can make an easy pick. If you Molotov those spots, it gives you a chance to get into an advantageous CT position. Same with ramps, it lets you set up a bit better, lets you harass. The important thing to note, though, from Dignitas is they stayed on control, in control even, of the economy the whole time, you know? Every time that a round was won for Heroic, they lost the next round and they couldn't build up any economy. But the thing is, most teams would take a double eco and get up full utility. Instead, they kept force buying into it like they had a chance, and that's what blew it out even further. Because once you go down that force buy route, you hit a position of being 7-1 down, 8-1 down, you're going to keep buying. Like, you need rounds at that point. It's a CT-sided map. And they took an eco on the 14th round, and it blew my mind. I was like, why didn't you just do that earlier? Yeah. Like, you're too far down the rabbit hole now.
So it seems like your general consensus is that, yes, it is an embarrassing result for Heroic. By no stretch of the imagination do we disagree with that. But you also can see very quick fixes to seeing a much more competitive second map. Of course, going back into Nuke if you are wondering where we're going next.
Yeah, I think it'll be more competitive if they were able to get up to like a stronger CT economy.
Actually, if you're willing to eco.
Yep. So
buy Molotovs.
Yep.
What's next on the list? Take outside more? I mean, can we just quickly, I'm just completely off topic, Dignitas and their inside takes, just because I realized we sat there and went, outside is your default, and felt like Dig were just walking into the site every round.
Yeah, well, they did a lot of, like, they basically, it's not disrespect, but they play with confidence in the way that, you know, we know that their economy's low, we know that they probably can't afford this kind of stuff, and we can push into the site and just take them down. And that's what they did, and they just traded out efficiently when they went in. They caught them off guard, you know, really fast, without too many flashes or anything. They were just busting out, and then boom, we're in your face. You don't have any nades to negate us, like we keep talking about, and it's easy for the Ts to spread out on that floor of the site and take jewels. And we saw it pretty effective from Dig. It's good to see.
Pretty effective, perhaps a little bit of an understatement. Not a single member of Dignitas conceded 10 deaths or more.
Wow, that's pretty impressive.
Yeah, not too shabby. In fact, Config rocking 21 kills to 8. He was having a good game, which is always refreshing to see. We know there is some serious potential within that Dane. It's all about getting it under control when it matters. And it certainly does matter in our next map. It's going to be Nuke coming up next after the break. Before we do go to a break, though, the Score Esports application available on your smartphone device, news articles, stats, and more. That's what I usually say.
That was a quick one.
Yeah, just thought I'd go for it, get all the syllables out. But of course, if I'm being genuine about it, you should check it out because it enables you to keep track of this league. There's a whole lot of games going on and off stream, and of course, the Score Esports enables you to keep track of all of them and all of the good stuff in between. In fact, you just it popped up telling us that E-League have the major.
Yeah, it's good.
There you go. Yeah. Info in your hand.
Important news.
In the palm of your hand whenever you need it. So you go check that out when we come back. We'll be talking Nuke between the Danes once more.